Greetings everyone! In this tutorial, I will show you how to create a notification counter in PowerApps. Without further ado, let us begin. To create a notification counter, simply create a blank canvas app. In this one, I'd like to put it on a tablet form so it can be more landscape, and we'll name it an app. And once you create the Power App, you'll see a blank canvas. To begin creating this notification counter, first we'll need a button. And after we add the button, we'll need to make the button color white, and we'll add a black border into it. And once that, we will add another icon to decorate this app icon. For this one, let's pretend that we want to create a car or a vehicle app. After that, we'll need to create an onSelect property. And in onSelect property code, we'll first need to put navigate into screen number 2 that is already added previously beforehand by me. And when you go to screen 2, let's select a gallery to store the data that we want to count the notifications on. And for the layout, we'll just simply use a title layout. Once that, let's add a data into the gallery layout. And for this one in particular, we'll use SharePoint because it's more quicker. I would like to add a my list in my SharePoint. And if we select my list into the gallery layout, you can see that I have several names of numbers. And in my SharePoint site, you'll see that it is equal and according to the one that I've created in the PowerApps. All 6 of them. Now if we go back to screen 1, we can now insert a text label. And in the right arrow from the layout of the gallery that we chose, we can set a variable called your ID, and this variable will include the specific ID of the item available. So 1 has an ID, 2 has an ID, and so on. And after that variable is set, we can just select the arrow so that it can come back to screen 1 after it is clicked. And on the unvisible property of screen 1, we'll need to set another variable. For this variable, we'll call it unReadCount to count how many items in the gallery item that we've just created is still left unread. And for this one, we'll need to count the rows of the my list data and filter them by the status column that we have created in the SharePoint file, which has the value unread in it. So it'll only filter and count the rows which has unread status in it. And once that, we'll need to refresh my list so that it can update it when we come back to screen 1 again. In that case, when we click the right arrow from screen 2. And from here, we can edit the your ID variable and place it into patch. What patch does is basically update the value of a certain row when a selected ID is chosen. So for this, we'll patch my list, and we will look up my list for a specific ID called your ID that was already set up before, and it will update the status into read when we select the right arrow. Now additionally, if we want to have a more functioning notification update in which only the unread items are shown, we can filter the items inside the gallery to only show the ones that are unread. And once that, you'll see that they only show the list of items that are unread, which you can already see from the SharePoint before. And now if we set the text to unread count that was already defined in the onVisible property, you'll see that it shows the number of notifications that are still unread. And the correct answer is 4. Let's make the text size bigger. And to make it like common notification counting badges, we'll color it red and set the text color to white. And after we set it to a more linear direction, let us run the app now. If we click the button, it will go to the next screen. Let's choose number 5. Once number 5 is chosen, you can see that the badge returned 3 and number 5 is gone. And that's how you create a notification counter. And voila! There you have it, folks.